I've always struggled with running long distances. I was relatively a good sprinter in my younger years, maybe, and before I had a bike accident. But running longer distances was always a struggle. Not because I would get tired or out of breath, but because mentally it was so hard to do the same movement over and over again for a long period of time that I would just get bored. Until I figured out the secret of running and how these people that run for hours can do it. So stay tuned and let me share that with you. Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today's journey is a personal one, to be honest, and something I am terrible at, but I want to get better at with your help. It's always been a love-hate relationship between me and running, and I've always envied people that can run a 10 or 20K casually. The longest distance I've ever run, I think, was about 16 kilometers, which isn't much at all, and it's not an achievement, to be honest. So I've decided that I wanted to put myself in a position where I trained for a 21-kilometer run and hopefully bring you guys along for the ride. About 4 years ago, I decided to see if I can run a 10K after my bike accident, which left me unable to walk properly for about a month. And you can watch that video over here. Spoiler alert that I did do the 10K and I repeated it a few times after that. But I don't feel that a 10K run is a long distance, to be honest. And I have my sights set on a 21-kilometer run. But I do want to share with you before we go into that, the 5 points that I think people that are able to run very long distances believe and understand all too well and are able to maintain that distance for a very long time. So like I said, running doesn't come easy to me at all. Each run does honestly feel like a battle, with my body screaming to stop and my mind begging me to find something more entertaining to do. But there's something about pushing past your limits that's undeniably addictive. And it's probably why I enjoy jiu-jitsu so much. It's not about maybe running away from challenges, but towards personal victory. When you achieve that thing you've set out to do, there's probably no greater feeling than that success at the end of the run. I recently just finished listening to David Goggins' book, Never Finished, which I honestly highly recommend to listen to on Audible book because it's maybe a very different approach to how books are traditionally done. But his ability to push through some of the most difficult circumstances is unbelievable. I'm not saying I want to run a 240-mile race or jump out of an airplane to put out fires, but I would like to be better at running to eventually be able to do a full marathon. And I take a lot of inspiration from David Goggins because you put yourself in that situation where you complain about a 5-kilometer run and you realize this person has done a 240-mile run with a busted up knee and other health issues that he was going through. But I have crafted a plan because you cannot succeed now without a plan and a structure and a direction to go in. And I've put a roadmap for that 21K. I want to gradually get myself to do a 21K relatively comfortable. But I've said this so many times, and it's not about achieving that 21 kilometers. It is about the journey that I take to get there, which I'm going to hopefully enjoy and share it with you as much as possible. See, the biggest hurdles, in my opinion, aren't the physical. It's honestly the mental for me when it comes to long distances. And I need to kind of be able to silence that inner critic that says you can't or this is boring, and maybe transforming that into a voice that cheers you can do it or you will do it. There's a big difference having that mental focus that you believe that you're able to do something. This journey is as much about strengthening the mind as it is about conditioning the body. I want to show that even though this is something I am really bad at and maybe don't enjoy in the beginning, with enough dedication, with enough perseverance, with enough consistency, I will hopefully slowly get better at things. Hoping to be documenting every triumph and setback that I face during these next few weeks. Not just to hold myself accountable, but also to show you that it's okay to struggle and it's okay to fail along the way. But the most important thing is that you kind of get back on track and keep pushing for that end goal that you're trying to achieve. So why do I care so much about being a better runner? And there's a few reasons, and I've realized that most people that have that ability to run long distances always have these in the back of their mind. The first thing is that I look at running, and in a world that screams faster, higher, or stronger, running offers a paradoxical escape. Yes, my legs are moving, maybe if a lion's on my tail, but my mind, it's as peaceful as a serene old man sipping sweet tea on a porch. Running is not just exercise, it's a form of life's meditations, in my opinion. The second part of it is that your mental health. We always focus on our physical health, but the mental is usually neglected. And when people run consistently, it does battle things like stress or depression or anxiety, and it does sharpen your cognitive function, and it offers a brighter outlook to life once you've done that run. Imagine each step as a beat in the rhythm of clarity and calmness. Try running with no headphones, is something I do quite often, and see what thoughts and ideas you get. It's some of my best ideas that I've had going on a long run. The third aspect that I have realized is that there's no greater feeling than finishing a long run and hitting that, what they call the runner's high, which probably lasts for hours after your run. It ignites maybe a vibrant energy, making you more productive and less fatigued. And I feel it makes you be ready to take on the world with a higher energy level. The fourth element of it is the sleep element. And when we run consistently and for longer distances, it allows us to go into deeper sleep and help with our recovery. An active body does crave rest, and ensuring you dive into deep, more restorative sleep cycles is more beneficial in the long run. The fifth part that I want to talk about is running spices things up in more ways than one. Boosting your sex drive is just one element of that, but let's not forget the heart, which is probably the engine of our life. Running keeps it pumping strong and reducing the risk of heart disease and building a fortress against many other ailments. So that's my approach to it, and these elements that I keep in the back of my mind of why I want to go longer distances. And as it becomes easier over the next few weeks, I'm hoping to inspire people to think of this in the same way. So if you feel like you're ready to maybe lace up your shoes and hit the pavement with me, then I'm going to provide with you the program that I'm going to follow completely free of charge to build up to the 21 kilometer. And even if you just want to do your first 5K or your first 10K, that's fine. You can still follow the same structure that I'm following. And I'll provide that link in the comments below, and you can download that completely free of charge. The thing is, in groups or in communities, we always achieve a lot more because there's always support there. So if you feel like you want to, drop me a message or put a comment below, and maybe we can start this journey together. Thing is, I want to prove to ourselves, or to myself, that with persistence and dedication and a little bit of grit, no distance is too far. So here's to the journey ahead, to the miles that we will shape together, and to the finish line that awaits, with an objective of doing something that we haven't done before and stepping out of our comfort zone. So hopefully I will see you running, be a part of this together, and I will see you in our next video. Enjoy the week, stay safe, and stay active.